Hey everybody, we here from Window Treatment Marketing Pros. Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. It is Friday. It is casual Friday for me, as you can tell. Just kind of relaxing and chilling out, getting some things done before the big weekend comes up. And so I'm excited for today's Facebook Friday. We're going to be talking about how you can figure out what important SEO tags on your site, how to figure out what they are, how to fix them, and what kind of tools that you can use as well. So I'm just going to jump right in. First of all, thanks for being on today's Facebook Live. I'm excited, and if you are watching this live and want me to check out your website and do a little run some tools on it, I'd be happy to do that. Just plug that into the comments. I'll do my best to keep an eye on the comments as well. So I'm going to share my screen here, and let's see if I can get it to go. So we should be able to see my screen, maybe. There we go, to broadcast. All right, so there's my screen. And then I think I can click solo. There we go. All right, here we go. This is cool. So this is obviously the homepage for us. So I'm going to use my own website as the test here, because I think it's the easiest to do. But if you do have a site that you want me to poke around at, I'd be happy to do that if you're on here live. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the back end of my site, and I'm using WordPress, which I highly recommend you use as well because of its ease of use. It's very SEO friendly, and it just lets you do a lot of things. So one of the plugins that I really love is called Yoast SEO, Y-O-A-S-T SEO. So this particular plugin lets you do a whole lot of things, but the coolest thing that it lets you do really is on every page and or post on your site, it lets you optimize your page titles, your meta descriptions. These are all things that SEO, that Google really looks at when it comes to your overall search engine optimization. So here's a blog that we put up on how to deal with bad Yelp reviews. And if I scroll down to the Yoast section here, I can actually control what my title is for this particular blog, and I can control my description here. So the title really should be the title of what that particular article or blog post is about, and then the description is 1 or 2 sentences that explains a little bit more about this particular blog post. So the reason that this is important is because these 2 things are what show up in Google when somebody searches for your company. So if I did if I look at my site, Yelp. So there it is right there, how to deal with bad Yelp reviews. And we can see that that matches my title right here. We can also see that this 2 sentences right here, these 2 sentences are, that's 2 sentences. Those are my meta description. So you can actually control what is shown on Google by modifying these 2 fields. So that's why they're really, really important. So let's start out. I'm going to load up a tool. So this tool, I've talked about it before for the training sessions. It's called Screaming Frog, and I use the paid version, but there is a free version as well, which of course you can use for your own business, and it only indexes up to 500 pages. So as long as your website is smaller than 500 pages, you can probably get away with using the free version of it. But it does a lot of cool things. But the big thing that it does is it crawls your website and then pulls in all of this data that we're talking about, and will let you identify holes, gaps in your website, things like that. So here it is the first thing I do, I'll blow this up for you. First thing I do is just put in my URL, wtmarketingpros.com, hit enter. And if we look over here on the right, we can see that it's crawling the site to look at all the pages, all of the graphics, all the CSS files or the style sheets, things like that. And it's fairly quick. We're at 65% already. So it doesn't take very long to crawl through a site. And I love this tool. It's free. Like I said, I use the paid version, but you don't necessarily have to do that. So here we are at 99, 100. Okay. So lots of information here, but what we're most interested in is this little filter up here, changing that to HTML. So now that only shows the pages on my site and not the style sheet, not the JavaScript, not the graphics, not all that other stuff, just the pages that the humans see. So I'm going to export that and I'll save it as WTMP internal. That'll take just a second. Now I'm going to open up this file. And then when I open it up, it'll open up in Excel. So I can actually close the Screaming Frog tool now. I'll go ahead and close that. Now I've got this data here, which looks a little daunting, but that's okay. So the first thing that I like to do, it opened in Excel, and this isn't something that you have to do. You can do this all in Excel. I prefer to use Google Docs. So I'm going to move this. I'm going to open up my Google Docs. I'm going to go to Google Sheets. And I like to use this because it lets me access it from multiple locations, multiple devices. And, if I need to work on it a little bit at the office, and then I'm going to go to a coffee shop or a meeting or something like that, I can continue to work on it as I need to. So all I did was I copied everything. I did a select all in Excel, and then I'm just going to paste that, and it'll take a minute to move all that data over. But it's really just a preference. I could edit this right in Excel if I wanted to. All right, so I'm going to call this window treatment marketing pros.com SERPs, and SERPs means search engine result pages. So that's the information that's coming over that the search engines actually see. So I'm going to close Excel. Okay, now what I said, this looks a little daunting, but we'll be okay. I'm going to stretch out column A. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking at column G, which is title. So these are all my titles of my pages. And then J, which is description. And what we can start to see here is there's some with missing descriptions, right? So these are pages that I probably need to look at a little closer, right? So I'm going to delete this first row here. I'm going to make that row bold so I can tell what the titles are. And then I'm going to freeze that first row so when I scroll, it stays there. Okay. Now, what I'm most interested in, and really I could delete all of this other stuff if I want to, is I'm interested in title, meta description, and then over here a little bit further is H1-1. So the H1 tag is what's called the heading tag, and it is the headline for that particular page. So if I go look at, let's look at the home page here. So our home page heading tag is right here. Digital marketing for window treatment and outdoor awning / signage companies. So it is what we do on the home page. Now, if I go look at a blog post We'll go look at the Yelp one. This page's H1 tag happens to match the page title, which is fine. How to deal with bad Yelp reviews. So every page on your site gets its own unique page title, description, and heading tag. Heading tag and titles can match, and that's fine. But they don't have to, but they typically do. So the big thing here that I'm looking for are missing items. So missing H1s, missing descriptions like here, and missing titles. Okay. So this is very important. The other thing that's important here are any duplicates that might happen. So I'm going to stretch out my titles here and just make sure that they are all unique. So what happens a lot is duplicates or things like we see every one of these ends with Window Treatment Marketing Pros. Now you might think, well, that's a good thing. I want every page on my site to end with the brand name, but really you don't necessarily want that to happen. The problem with that is if you have, let's say you have 20 pages on your website, that brand name is now being diluted or dispersed evenly over 25 pages. So instead of just one page, probably your home page ranking for your brand, it's spread over 25 pages, and then no page is going to rank or have really good authority for your brand name. What you really want is your homepage to be Window Treatments Phoenix or Office Awning Specialists in Nashville, and then dash, and then your brand name, whatever that happens to be, the name of your company, something like that. But on internal pages, you really want the title and the H1 to be what that particular page is about, not have your brand name on the end of it. So this one is 8 Steps to Online Success, Understanding the Search Engines. So you see there, that is very specific. Everybody knows what that page is about. Everybody knows what, what's going on there. We have a good meta description that is, looks like it's 1 sentence long. That's fine. A little bit long, 1 sentence, but that's fine. And then if we look at the H1 tag, it is the same as the page title, which is fine. 8 Steps to Online Success. So that's a good one. All right. So the next thing that I want to do, once I have this spreadsheet made and I've identified some that are missing. So, we need to figure out which one of these is a page that's on my site, has a title, has an H1, but for some reason doesn't have a meta description. So here's one right here. Exclusive interview with Drapery App Home WIP creator Alicia Chikanova. And this is an interview that I did back in May or June. And we can see that I have a meta description for that. I have a title. Let's see what the meta description there, and H1 is the same. So that one's good. Let's see if I can find one that's missing a meta description that is also an indexable page. So that's one thing I didn't mention, and I probably should. So we see over here non-indexable and indexable. So what we're really concerned about are the indexable pages. That means this page, the search engines have permission to index this page and see what's on it. Some of these other pages are blocked, such as this one, which is an archive file, things like that. So these really, I can ignore these. So what we could do is create a filter, and then only look at the indexable pages. Okay, so that took all the other ones out. Now we can see some missing descriptions on indexable pages. So this is an issue here. So we need to figure out these and fix them. So let's look at this one. This is website navigation, main pages, and flow. And I think this is a training session that I did. It is missing the meta description. It does have an H1 tag. All right, so let's go to this page. Hopefully I'm not getting too technical. Really what you're looking for is missing items, missing page titles, descriptions, or H1 tags. So this is a training session that I did on website navigation. So if I edit this page now, I already know it has a missing description. So we'll cruise down here, and sure enough, look at there, the description is empty. So it has a title, which in this case is your website navigation, main pages, and flow. So I'm going to copy that and put it in here. And then I need a description. So the description should match what this particular page is about, right? And sometimes the easiest way to do that, if you're in a bit of a hurry, is to grab the first or last sentence, because typically that's a summary of the page. But in reality, what you really should do is every page on your site should have its own custom description. So this one we're going to call this training for window treatment and awning companies about website navigation and visitor flow. Okay, it's a little bit short, and if I keep typing, if I had more time, I was thinking about this, as I kept typing, it would turn green. That's really what we want. We want it to be in that green section. So I just need to be a little bit more creative. But for now, that's good. At least there's something there. It's not empty now. Update that. And then in my my list of pages here, I'm actually going to copy that put that in here so I know that it's not missing anymore. Okay. And then typically what I do is I actually fill these in with some sort of color so I know that that's one that I've updated. Something like that. So the important thing here really is to use the Screaming Frog tool to identify the missing titles, missing descriptions, missing H1 tags, and then go back to your website and fill those in. Now, I want to show you one other cool thing with the Yoast SEO plugin. If I go over here to SEO tools and then bulk editor, the bulk editor lets you look at every page on your site, what the existing title is, and then if you want to type a new one in. So this is really cool. Another way to do this is I can identify very quickly on my published pages which ones are missing titles. So here's the August training, which is our website critiques that we're going to be doing here in a couple weeks, maybe next week, no, maybe 2 weeks, I think. So there's no page title on this page. So I need to add this August 2019 window treatment and on website critiques. And then I'm just going to hit save, and you'll see now it'll fill in here. Now that page has a page title, and we're not just relying on the WordPress system to grab some random text, which is not in our best interest. So go back through, do this. I've got 7 more pages worth of content that I need to look at and find the missing pieces. So our contact page doesn't have a title. Here's the page about my book. That needs a custom title. By the way, if you don't have my book, you need to get this book right away. It's free, and I'll stick it in the mail to you today. It's Your Internet Marketing Plan for Window Treatment Companies. I'm actually working on an awning version of this, which is a little bit different because they're more B2B versus window treatment, which is a lot of B2C. So if you want that book, you can go to wtmarketingpros.com/book, which is the page right here that doesn't have a good title, and it will in a minute here. But you can order that book, and I'll get it shipped out to you this weekend. So let's put a title in here. Order, or let's say, get your copy of our book for free. Save. There we go. All right, now that one has a page title. So next time that Google comes around and indexes that page, they'll have a better title for it. All right, so the last thing I want to show you is something I did earlier that maybe you caught, maybe you didn't catch, but that is the cite colon command, which is something that you can do on Google. So you just type in cite, S-I-T-E colon, and then your domain. So in this case, cite:/wtmarketingpros.com. When I do that, Google will basically show me what they have indexed on my website, what information they have. So now we can see all my page titles here and all my descriptions. And this is a great way to see if there's any duplicates or things like that, or missing opportunities. So it's just cite colon and then whatever your domain name is. Also a great place to check on competitors. Cite colon and then your competitor's domain name. See what kind of page titles and descriptions they're using, and see if there's anything that you can borrow to make yours a little bit better. That's another great way to use this particular tool. So cite colon and then a particular domain name, no spaces. It's important that you don't use any spaces in this. So anyway, that's it for today. I appreciate everybody for jumping on and leaving comments. If you watch this after the fact, after us being live, go ahead and leave comments. I'll watch it, and I'll be happy to answer any comments that you might have along the way. And don't forget to sign up for our website critiques, which is coming up on the 14th of August. And you can just go to wtmarketingpros.com/training. You could submit your website as one of the ones that we critique, or you could just sign up to actually watch the other websites being critiqued along the way. So you'll pick up a ton of fantastic tips when we do that on August 14th. So anyway, have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.